Let's get the candle lit. And heat up my spoon. And I'll put this away from my arm so that I'm not going to make a huge mess here or burn myself. I've put it on the side. I am going to be working here, so that's all good. And I can put the spoon on there so it gets to heat up. And we're going to make some wax seals. Let's do it. Hi everyone, my name is Mary Lou and this is Create Junk Journals with Mary Lou. So I have some pretty basic wax seal supplies in front of me. I will show you what I have. Ooh, my spoon just fell. So I have some colors, some mixed colors, and I have some seals that I can work with. I have one really cute one, and then one that I also like with the fleur-de-lis. And I have some gold and silver decorating things, and I also have a white decorating pen. Let's see what we can come up with. I want to do a little bit of mixed media for my wax seals. I really like how that looks, so we'll just see where it goes. I have here a bin with little bits and pieces that I can use to create, like, for example, a thread cluster, but then with a wax seal. Or I can use a little bit of cheesecloth, or a little bit of a hanky, and I want to see how that all behaves in this project. Okay, so the first thing that I need to do is put this aside, and that is I need to put some beads into my spoon, but I also want to know what I want to create. I like plain wax seals, but there is something, I've done a couple where I put threads in with it, and that just puts it over the top. So that is kind of where my brain is going, in that direction. So I have some purple thread, and that's this embroidery thread, and then I also have some lilac sewing thread. So I'm just going to give myself a bunch like that. I will need scissors. I put my scissors away, but I will need them. There we go. So then I can just, the same way as what I did when I made the thread clusters with the embroidery stabilizer, I am just going to create a cluster of thread. Then I'm going to take a couple of purple beads, and I want a little bit of different colors. I have been having a lot of success with 3 beads. So I have 3 different colors purple, and I'm going to put them into the spoon. So I'm just waiting for the wax to melt. And then I'm going to give it a quick blip, and then I don't know what it's called, so we're going to call it a blip for today. That's the word. I think it is melted, so I'm going to give it a quick blip like that. And then I'm going to pour this over my thread. Like that. Now, if it's going to work or not, that's a whole different story. And I'll just put this back. And I'm going to grab my fleur-de-lis quickly and stick it in there. That's really all I'm doing. And I'm just going to keep it right there until the wax is cooled off. I've learned the hard way that you need to wait for the wax to cool off. So for the next one, I have a little piece of lace. I can actually make it a little bit smaller. Like that. Take a little bit of the blue hanky or the blue floral hanky. And it doesn't take much. This rips so easy because this is old material. I didn't even have to cut it. So yeah, that's how old and frail this material is. So I'm going to put it down and kind of try and make somewhat of a cluster idea. Maybe we'll add a little cheesecloth to it. So I need a couple of things that are really porous, like cheesecloth and lace, and because you want the wax to go through the holes. And then it can land on the hanky. But I want something to look kind of thready. And that gives it that little bit of a vintage grungy look. So this should be dry or cooled off now. Yep, it is. And then you can just take it out and look how absolutely fantastic that is. That is beautiful. So there's a little piece sticking out. So I am trimming it to make sure that it's not like totally outrageous, but I really like how that looks. I can take my white metallic color pen and I am going to color over the raised edge here on the fleur-de-lis so that it stands out. And you can do that with gold or silver, or like if you have other colors, you can use that as well. This is all I have because I'm just starting out with this. I've just figured out how to do this. And yeah, I really like how it looks. Pretty. So in the meantime, my blue beads are dry, or they're melted. They're not dry, well, they're dry too. And so I'm going to take my spatula and I'm going to give it a blit up. And then I'm pouring it right in there and I'm scraping the edge of the spoon so that most of the wax is coming out. Of my flowers in there. And I'm just going to put that in there and it will hold it. This is going to hold because it's going to go through the fabric fibers and hold it together. That's what I'm telling it that it needs to do. I'm going to take a little piece of this very, very old material as well. I'll put that there, put this over top. And I want some threads in there. Great, let's do this one. Like that, so I'm just scrunching it up. Maybe a little bit, if it wants to. It's hard to get a hold of it. There, I'll put that over top here. And then in the meantime, I'm going to I think I want to do some green. So I'm grabbing a couple of green beads and throwing them in here so they can melt. Just put them down like that. If they want to, they don't want to overly, that's okay. So I'll just make a couple here while I am waiting. So let's see if it worked on this one first before we continue on. Oh, that is so pretty. I think though, I need to add a little bit of white in there. Even though this is really pretty and it's very variegated, I do want to add a little bit of white because, like, for example, in the purple, you can see the marble effect, but it would look much better if there was a gold or a white or something like that in with it. So I do really like that. So I'll just cut a few little pieces of fabric. And this one, I definitely want the pinkish. And I'm putting the threads back and I'm grabbing a strand of pink. There we go. Add that with it and a little piece of lace. Some pink thread. There we go, we have two. So let's get this green one done. So again, we'll give it a little swirl, not a lot. And then I do need to hold on to my thread for a moment so that it is not going to unravel on me. There we go. And I can scrape it right out of the spoon. So I'm always trying to find ways that I can use my supplies in different ways. So for example, that I can make a thread cluster in a different way. And right now I'm making a huge mess. I don't know if you're noticing that, but yeah, my spoon is stuck in there. So I'll use the same one again because I forgot to change that over. So I'll just use the flowers again. And let's get that cleaned up. And then we want some pinks, but I want it to look a little richer. So I'm grabbing a darker pink, I'm grabbing a lighter pink, and I'm grabbing a rich, not that one, like a deep burgundy bead and see what happens. Maybe I'll add a white one in there as well. So then I really have a mixed color. So I'll go with 4 for this one, even though it isn't necessary to go with 4. You have plenty when you're going with 3 beads. This is dry, this is cooled off. So there it is. Is it perfect? No. Am I looking for perfection? Not really. I kind of want them to look just like that. And I really like how it looks with the threads in there and the lace and the, like, yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it is perfect for me. And I think I want to put a little bit of gold on this one. So I'm still waiting for my beads to melt. And in the meantime, I'm going to grab my little sponge applicator and I'm taking some gold paste and I'm just rubbing it over the flowers. So just over the raised bits. And that gives it a beautiful metallic-y look. Now I can also pick up some of these little elements that are in the back there and make them white. So you can really go to town in decorating this. Like, for example, I can make all these little dots white. And then it's gorgeous. Oh, that's cute. That was not enough wax, but it is really pretty. Let me color it up so you can see it. I'll do that with silver. Let's give it a silver. Let's make the mouse silver. Now, if you have more colors, you can actually color the whole thing so that you actually have like a designed mouse right there. I think he's so cute. Very pretty. Love it. And we've got the green ones on the go. And I think instead of, or I think I can unravel some of this. I'm still waiting for it to melt anyway. So if I take some of these fibers, I can put them on there like that. Yeah, I think I like that. So I'm just waiting for my wax to melt. And what do I want to use? I have an angel here. I don't want to use angels. I have a bow. I can do a bow on something. Butterfly and a tree. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll do the mouse again. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So in the meantime, my wax melted, and I'm just going to pour it and scrape it. I'm going to have to clean out the spoon for a moment. Okay, so we'll put the mouse on there. And it's coming out on all sides now, so that's good. Hopefully it worked with all the fibers coming out too. All right, this is cooled off. So there we go. That is much better than what the first one was. It's got a little bit more wax on it. And I like it with the fibers coming in there. And look how beautiful that design, that variegated design is. Yep. There we go. So we have some depth on them now with the gold and the white. Yep, I like it. So I'm just going to pour this on here, scraping and pouring as I'm going. And I will quickly grab the bow. And stick it in there. So everything stays put because the wax has been poured in there. Doesn't want to come off now. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. That is super pretty. Let's color that up. I'll do it in silver and just polish it up. I like it a lot. That is pretty. All right, I am going to continue doing this, and I will put pictures of all the ones that I have created at the end of this video. I think they are absolutely fantastic. Look at this. They are so cool, and it is such a fun little project. This is an addictive project. You can do this forever and ever and ever and come up with all different kinds of ideas. You can do this on paper as well, of course, but I thought it would be a lot of fun to put it onto the fibers of the lace and the cheesecloth and fabrics. So yeah, this is what I have created. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button because there is a bunch of other projects coming still that are just as cool. Or at least I think they're just as cool. Let me grab another one. And yes, this one is just about as cool. So this is stenciling paint chips. That will be coming up tomorrow. I have a whole bunch, so let's see what we can do with those. For today, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you are making wax seals like this, please tag me. I want to see what you have made because, you know, I have not seen anything like this done yet. I don't see very many wax seals videos anyway, so this is something very new to me, and I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.